Hey, how's it going? This is Josh from Books by Josh, and this is episode 48 of the Books by Josh audio immersion. This episode is titled The Power of Upselling. What is upselling? Well, upselling is when you're sold or you're selling something higher to someone, or you're selling something that they didn't originally come in to buy. I used to work in mobile, and in mobile, it was easy to upsell. I was upselling all the time. Why? Because no phone should have no screen protector and no case on it. I was telling my little cousin nearly 5 minutes ago that his phone is cracked because he doesn't have a case on it. But I also had to upsell other things such as a tablet and a hotspot. These kind of things were not essential in my eyes, so it was hard to upsell. What do I mean? Not essential. Well, I feel like I said cases are essential to a phone because it protects it. Not everybody needs a tablet. And I had that mentality throughout my career in wireless. And I didn't sell that many tablets because of the fees. Mind you, I'm actually recording this on a tablet that has cellular because it helps me in my productivity. But the whole thing is you need to upsell in order to make a living and be profitable in anything in life. But guess what? It has to flow. You can't just come out left field and say, hey, I know you're looking at this iPad, but do you want to buy a Honda Civic? Like, no. Like, if you want an iPad Pro, you say, hey, by the way, this Apple Pencil will make it so much easier and fun to use, and you can do so much with it, and you show them. That's how you upsell. And guess what? You ever been to a restaurant or anything like that, and they go, hey, after you finish, they go, would you like dessert? Well, that's upselling. It's funny, I can't even pause because it's going to pick up background noise, so I have to do this in one take. So it's going to be a funny episode because another way of upsell is McDonald's. Would you like fries with that? Classic lines you may think, but it's an upselling. And I thought about upselling because I was reading a book about publishing more books, making profits, publishing books online because I'm a writer. And talk about upselling your book. You have one book, then you want to upsell them to read more of your work. And you have to leverage whatever platform you currently have, social media, your blog, podcast, whatever, with a call to action, which is basically a plan for the person to do after they finish reading or doing whatever, which is, hey, subscribe to my newsletter, hey, read my book, things like that. But in any business, my uncle has all the parts, and in his all the parts, you come in for an antifreeze, and guess what? You may need something else. You gotta say, hey, how's your windshield wipers? Hey, when's the last time you got tune up? You know? Because it generates a profit. If you just sell somebody what they come in for, you're basically a clerk. And I was told this so many times when I first started in retail because I honestly didn't understand how powerful the upselling is, and it's very important in sales and in business to generate profit. And I worked for another phone company in the beginning, and I never upsold there because I'm like, why? But before that, I was a computer technician, and to gain hours, I had to sell services. And I remember I was ruthless. A friend from high school and middle school and junior high school, known them for at least 12 years, came into my store and where I was working and want their computer. Computer was on sale for $400. After I started putting services and other things on it, it was over $1,000. That's bad, but guess what? I had to upsell to get hours. I was part-time, making 50 hours a week. How? Because I upsold. And that's the whole thing. If you're in a job in sales, you have to sell more to generate a bigger income. If you're selling cable packages, if you sell basic package, you may make $10. If you sell triple play, you may make $20. But if you sell premium with HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Stars, DVR, 3 boxes, you'll probably make $100, you know? That's the whole thing. It's a mentality thing. You have to see it as something that the customer can't live without. And like I said, it has to flow. It has to come out natural. Because if you go to a restaurant and person goes, dessert, what's that? Oh no, do you want, like, we have cake or something? Do you want something like that? You're not gonna want it. The waitress or waiter goes, hey, by the way, the chef has made an exquisite dessert, which I think you might love because of what you just had for dinner, your entree. I recommend taking a look at it. Here's the menu. Let me know. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Take a look at it and let me know. You're more inclined to buy because it flowed. And that's the whole thing. You have to make everything flow naturally. So let's go back to me and phones. So when I sold phones, say I sold an iPhone, I will go to a customer. Here's your iPhone. This is after, of course, I put them in the right device. And I'll go, hey, this is my phone. I actually did live demonstrations with a case I had on. I'll drop the phone, this and that. I didn't care if I broke my phone, I'll fix it or exchange it or whatever. But I literally dropped my phone and said, you see, it's protected. Why? Because of this screen protector, it's glass, and it takes the impact. And this case. And I'll explain the patterns in the case for like Tech 21, UAG, Rhino Shield. It has a special honeycomb pattern that disperses the actual impact. And I'll even YouTube videos to show them a phone being thrown from an 11-foot drop and being fine with certain cases. And they're like, wow. And because you have to probe the customer, not literally probe them with something, but it's finding out their problems, talking to them before you put them in the device. That's the whole selling process. I'll talk about that in another episode, but then based on what they need, you can offer them different accessories also. Hey, you tell me that you do a lot on your phone, this and that, and you're on the go. Would you like a power bank? Things like that. But that's why I found it hard to offer a tablet. Hey, by the way, do you want a bigger form of your phone? It was an awkward sell for me, and I could never get it done because I couldn't make it flow in my whole pitch. And that's all it is. Sales is a pitch. And when you upsell, you have to add into your pitch by knowing all the negatives and the rebuttals. And that was the thing I could never overcome with tablets at that point in my time, in my life. After that, I did sell tablets. Not as much as everything else, but guess what? You live and learn. Now that I'm reflecting on it, over 2 years later, I'm thinking, hey, I understood why tablets are a big deal because I have a tablet. I've always had tablets, but this is the first time with cellular. And I understood how I could put in my pitch if I was still working in that field. Because, hey, I have a tablet for a hotspot. I have a laptop. I'm on the go. Maybe Wi-Fi is bad, but I have cellular. Here you go. And then they say, hey, but my phone can give hotspot. That's true. But your phone will overheat and die a lot faster. And guess what? You need your phone for calls, tests, this and that. So that's why I have a tablet. And guess what? Tablet, email, bigger screens, things like that. It's all about making it flow. And I can make it flow now from experience. So when you're upselling, you use your experience as a crutch. Not really a crutch, but to come up with a pitch. I know this episode turned out rather long, ranty, but the whole thing is upselling is important in a business because if you don't generate profits, you don't stay in business. And upselling lets your customers see more of the products you have. And if they like it, guess what? They'll recommend more customers. But that's it for this episode of the Books by Josh audio immersion. And hope you enjoyed it, because if not, maybe you enjoy the next one. If not, keep listening. If you don't enjoy none of them, I have nothing to tell you, because I just tell it like it is. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.